Welcome to your Pisces horoscopes for the week of March 31st through April 6th. And we still have lots of planets in Pisces this week. It's also officially Mercury retrograde week in Aries, which is good for Pisces because it's in the sign next door. So not a whole lot of planet interaction between Mercury and anything in Pisces, which is kind of good. We are losing Venus's influence this week. By the end of the week, Venus moves on into Aries, and that sort of creative influence is leaving, but not completely, because of course we still have Neptune going on. And while Neptune and Venus's focus is very much on career and finding creative solutions for those career problems this week, we continue to have Mars and Saturn influencing your long-term goals, be those your long-term career goals, etc. Because of the fact that Saturn is very much a part of this influence, it really is the goals that we're responsible for, as in making sure that we're looking at the goals to take care of our responsibilities in our lives, taking care of ourselves financially, a roof over our own heads, et cetera, et cetera. It really rules all of those, boring, responsible things also. The moon comes into Pisces at the very end of the week, also Thursday and Friday, and kind of sits there. So we're going to have the moon in Pisces kicking off the following week as well. But there's almost all the planets are on one side of the zodiac. So there really is no challenges with that. If anything, Mars and Saturn continue to be in a sextile with Jupiter and Uranus, and the moon just comes in and enhances that in a very good way. Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus really are focused on those that support you, bringing this support for growth in terms of your long-term goals. There's plenty of support for that, whether it's the growth in the people that are supporting that, whether it's in the amount of support that one individual person is giving to you. Everything is lining up towards you being successful in those goals. Now, being an emotional sign like Pisces can be very difficult, because for the water signs specifically, it's very easy to just get washed away with the emotions. And I think that that's really the biggest issue that the water signs do have, is the fact that things come up emotionally and they get in the way, and your focus is on that, and then pretty soon it just sort of dampens your oomph to really keep going. And I feel like because we're in a Mercury retrograde this week, that's going to come up a lot more. In Aries, Mercury retrograde can be very frustrating, very volatile, very angry in some ways. You might even find that people around you are just more angry, more looking for a fight than normal. You cannot allow yourself to be emotionally taken over, because the more you're emotionally taken over, the less you're focused on what you need to focus on in order to succeed in those goals, if that makes sense. So, and the other thing too is that this is a very powerful moment. And I have seen a lot of Pisces go, I really would love to do this, but it's too bad I can't because of this and that and the other thing. You got to get rid of that. Okay. Yes, you have responsibilities now and you can't step away from them. That's fine. But what you do want to avoid is allowing those things to be excuses. Just because you can't do it now doesn't mean that you can't put everything in place so that when you can do it, you're ready to go. Instead of kind of sitting there waiting and then not being ready when the time does come, if that makes sense. I probably did not explain that very well at all. Point is, Pisces, all 12 signs in one. That gives you a much bigger step towards accomplishing things than the other two water signs. So take everything that you got and put it into those long-term goals. Don't worry about challenges. Don't worry about the retrograde. Don't worry about what other people think about what you're doing. As long as you are successful in doing what you love to do, that's all that matters, right? So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my coffee link. Really appreciate that. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, you guys step into that power. Be the powerful beings that I know that you are. And don't worry about anything else. You guys have a great week, and I will see you next week.